Hello students, in last lecture we have started the chapter number 8 motion. In last lecture we have studied the difference between displacement and distance. Also we have studied the average speed of object, uniform motion, non-uniform motion. Now today we are going to study the velocity of object. Velocity. Okay. For that, let's consider an average speed. Average speed is given as, the formula for average speed is total distance traveled by that object divided by total time required to cover that distance. Therefore, the average speed denoted by capital V is equal to total distance traveled, small s, divided by time required, small t. We have obtained the unit for speed is the distance traveled measured in meter divided by time required measured in second. Therefore, the SI unit for average speed is meter per second. The SI unit of average velocity is here. The unit of initial velocity is meter per second. Unit of final velocity is meter per second. When we add these two quantities, then the unit will be remain same, meter per second. Therefore, the SI unit of average velocity is meter per second. Here we have considered the case of change in velocity or increasing velocity. Now, to determine the change in velocity in initial velocity and final velocity, we have to introduce another quantity called as acceleration. Now, the acceleration of object is given as change in velocity divided by time required. Therefore, what is change in velocity? To find out the change in velocity, we have to consider the final velocity and initial velocity. Therefore, change in velocity is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. Therefore, the acceleration small a is equal to, we can write final velocity denoted by v minus initial velocity denoted by small u divided by time. This formula gives the acceleration of that object. For example, when we start the car, then there is an increase in velocity of car. Initial velocity of that car is 0, but after some time its velocity goes on increasing. In that case, we can calculate the change in velocity, final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time required to increase that velocity. In that case, we can calculate the acceleration. But when we apply the brakes, then in that case what happened? The initial velocity is greater than the final velocity. In that case also we can calculate the acceleration, but that acceleration is called as deceleration. In acceleration there is increase in velocity, while in deceleration there is decrease in velocity. Okay. The SI unit of acceleration is, we have to find out the SI unit. For that, let's consider the unit of final velocity is meter per second minus unit of initial velocity is meter per second divided by unit of time is second. Now, when we subtract two unit, क्या होगा यहाँ पे? Meter per second minus meter per second, it remains as meter per second. For example, when we subtract 2 kg of sugar फ्रॉम 4 किलोग्राम ऑफ शुगर, 4 किलोग्राम शुगर, किलोग्राम ये क्या हुआ उसका यूनिट हुआ। 4 किलोग्राम शुगर से हम जब 2 किलोग्राम शुगर सब्सट्रैक्ट करेंगे तो फाइनल आंसर क्या होगा हमारा 2 किलोग्राम शुगर, मैग्नीट्यूड सब्सट्रैक्ट होगा, यूनिट क्या रहेगा उसका सेम रहेगा। देयरफॉर मीटर पर सेकंड माइनस मीटर पर सेकंड, इट रिमेन्स एज मीटर पर सेकंड डिवाइडेड बाय सेकंड, देयरफॉर इट बिकम्स एज क्या होगा ये वाला मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर। देयरफॉर SI unit is मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर।